We're learning today the man accused of brutally attacking House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband, Paul, with a hammer was in the U.S. illegally. He's Canadian, and now he may be deported. CNN's Veronica Miracle is following these developments for us. Veronica, what more are you learning about what David DePape was doing in the U.S. in the first place?
Well, Anna, we understand, according to federal records, that David DePape was a Canadian citizen who was here on a temporary visa. We're told that he entered the country through the California-Mexico border back in March. Now, Canadian residents are allowed to be in the U.S. on temporary visas for up to 6 months at a time, but those federal records state that he overstayed that visa. So ICE has issued a detainer on him, which essentially means that they've asked authorities to notify them in the case that he were to ever be released. Anna?
So how could this development impact the case?
So we understand that this is really unlikely to have an impact on his case immediately. These immigration issues are often resolved after criminal issues are settled. So in the case that he were to ever be deported and the U.S. were to seek that, that would happen after a potential conviction and after a potential prison sentence. Anna, DePape pleaded and entered not guilty pleas for all of his felony charges that the state has issued him, including assault with a deadly weapon, attempted murder, burglary, elder abuse, among others. He faces up to 13 years and to life in prison for those charges. And Congresswoman Jackie Speier has actually said that the state could consider charging him with a hate crime. Here's what the San Francisco District Attorney Brooke Jenkins had to say about that possibility.
Of course, we'll be looking into everything that we believe is a crime that he violated. At this point, that is not something that we saw fit to charge, but we certainly, as well as the federal government, will be looking at what charges we will proceed on going forward.
Anna, DePape is also facing 2 federal charges for which he has not entered pleas on, and he faces up to 50 years in federal prison for just those 2 charges. Tomorrow is going to be the next step in his court proceedings here for those state charges. We understand that he is not expected to be in court. It's going to be more of a procedural hearing where they're going to be setting dates for the next step in this in those state charges and what he's facing there. Anna?